What if I told you another stimulus check might be coming, but not from where you think? You've felt it. Rising costs, shrinking paycheck, Christmas bills still unpaid, rent that keeps climbing, kids counting coins for gas. Your family is tired. Your wallet is thin. And now social media is lighting up with one question. Is a new Venezuela stimulus check coming soon? And could you get paid? Pause. Here's what most news won't tell you. This story isn't about politics. It's about your bank balance, your family plan, and possibilities you haven't heard on CNN or the evening news. This video doesn't just explain the headlines, it explodes the confusing noise and tells you what's actually happening, what's real, what's rumor, and what could directly affect your money. Get ready, because what you're about to hear could change how you think about the economy, oil revenue, tariffs, and yes, potential checks in your account. So many stimulus rumors, so little clarity. Let's get real. The last major federal stimulus checks in the U.S. are now history. The IRS says there are no official new federal stimulus payments approved right now. Nothing for 2025 or 2026 unless Congress passes new legislation. But every week, you see new viral clips claiming checks are about to drop, or that payments tied to Venezuela oil revenue or tariff revenue could hit your bank account. These rumors explode on TikTok. They flood Facebook groups. People are screenshotting and resharing like it's guaranteed cash, when in reality, there is no official federal stimulus check on the books yet. That's the problem. Rumors spread faster than facts. People expect money that doesn't exist yet. And that confusion leads to frustration, scams, and panic. So let's unpack what's actually being discussed and separate fact from fiction. Why this matters to you and your family. You might be wondering, why should I care about a Venezuela-linked stimulus check if it's not real? The impact is deeper than you think, because the possibility of a check is tied to real economic forces affecting your grocery bill, gas prices, rent, and daily spending. Here's the truth. Your cost of living has risen dramatically over the past few years. Wages have lagged behind inflation. Bills keep stacking up. And when people read headlines about potential payments tied to oil revenue or tariff dividends, it triggers an emotional reaction. Could this be the break I've been waiting for? Especially when your family budget is stretched to the limit. But here's the key. News of potential payments isn't the same as money on the way. Understanding this difference isn't just academic. It can save you from financial disappointment, scams, and risky decisions. What Venezuela stimulus even means. Let's break it down in plain language. When creators talk about a Venezuela stimulus check, they're not referring to a government program that's been signed, funded, and scheduled. Instead, they're referring to a concept that's been trending in the political and economic space. 1. Oil revenue from Venezuela. 2. Revenue from new tariffs or trade deals. 3. Potential dividends or rebates from that revenue stream. 4. Speculation about stimulus as a political policy. In other words, the idea is this. If the U.S. can collect new revenue from foreign oil, trade tariffs, or other sources tied to foreign policy, could that money be redistributed as direct payments to citizens? Sounds cool. But here's the catch. That's not the same as a government-approved stimulus payment. No law has passed yet, no check is scheduled, and no federal agency has started planning deposits. The political side that no one tells you now. Here's where things get interesting. Wait for it. There is real political debate in Washington about ways to give Americans more money, but it's not labeled as a Venezuela stimulus check. Instead, ideas being floated include tariff dividend checks tied to import taxes and trade policy, rebates or credits based on new revenue streams, state and local income support programs, not federal. But, and this is crucial, none of these are approved yet, and none have been funded by Congress or codified into law. That means there is discussion, but no guarantee. Every expert, including financial analysts and lawmakers, points out that talk is not money. What's more, even if such a program were approved, it would have to be written into law, funded, and implemented, a process that often takes months, if not years. The idea of a quick cash drop into your bank account this month, that's almost certainly false. The rumors you see are not official. Every time TikTok or YouTube explodes with a new claim, like $5,000 checks are coming, or $2,000 Venezuelan stimulus is approved. It's almost always based on speculation, not official federal announcements. Here's why that matters. Scammers thrive on confusion. False stimulus stories drive clicks, shares, and stolen data. You could fall for phishing scams offering early access to non-existent checks. Misinformation makes it harder to focus on real financial planning. That's why the IRS, the agency that handles tax refunds and stimulus-type payments, says there are no new federal payments scheduled for 2026 unless Congress passes a specific bill. If you see a viral post claiming otherwise, question it. Double-check official government sources, protect your personal data. What experts are actually talking about. Here's where things get nuanced and real. Economists and lawmakers are talking about ways to help Americans cope with inflation and economic pressures, but not through a simple stimulus check from Venezuela. Some of the ideas you'll hear discussed in policy circles include tariff dividends, rebates from revenue generated by trade policy, tax credits for working families, wage support or childcare tax relief, targeted rebates for low-income households. But here's the twist. None are approved yet, and all would require congressional action before money is distributed. So while pundits may call these ideas stimulus checks, the reality is they're proposals, not payments. That's a big difference, and it's the difference between hype and actual cash in your pocket. The economic reality behind these discussions. Let's slow down and look at the bigger financial picture. Why are people even talking about extra checks right now? Answer: because millions of American families are hurting financially, and traditional economic tools aren't solving it fast enough. Inflation is still affecting essentials like food and gas. People are asking, where's our break? That's why ideas like tariff dividends, trade revenue rebates, or foreign policy-linked payments get attention, because they sound like a creative way to get money into households without raising taxes. But, and this is real, economists caution that such programs may increase debt, could worsen inflation, might not send equal money to everyone. So, while the idea feels hopeful, the economic reality is that any payment, if approved, will come with trade-offs that affect prices, interest rates, and budgets across the country. Who could benefit, and who might not? Let's talk about the question burning in your mind. If something like this ever happens, would you even qualify? Right now, there is no official eligibility list because no Venezuela-related stimulus program exists. But based on how past financial relief programs worked, experts expect any future payment, if approved, would likely prioritize low-income households, families with children, seniors on fixed income, workers impacted by inflation, tax-paying residents with verified income records. That means not everyone would automatically receive the same amount. Some households might qualify for full payments, others partial, and some possibly nothing at all. This is why relying on rumors can be dangerous for your financial planning. If you start counting on money that hasn't been approved, you could delay important decisions: rent, credit cards, groceries, medical bills. Mini summary: no eligibility rules exist yet. No amounts are confirmed. No timeline is locked in. Everything you see online right now is speculation, not policy. And now, wait for what comes next, because this part really matters. How scammers exploit stimulus hype. Whenever the word stimulus starts trending, scammers move faster than breaking news alerts. They create fake websites, fake IRS emails, fake text messages promising early access or priority registration for checks that don't exist. And once you click, your personal data, banking info, or identity can be stolen. Remember this clearly. No government agency will ever ask you for payment, gift cards, or login details to receive a stimulus check, ever. If someone says, pay a small fee to unlock your payment, confirm your social security number now, limited time stimulus approval link, that's a scam. Your wallet deserves protection just as much as it deserves relief. Staying informed is your first line of defense. Mini summary: if it feels urgent, secret, or too good to be true, slow down, verify, protect your identity. Because the next section explains how to track real updates the right way. How you can track legitimate updates, not clickbait. You don't need rumors, you need reliable information. Here's how smart viewers stay ahead of fake stimulus hype. Follow official government announcements, Treasury, IRS, congressional releases. Watch for actual legislation being proposed and voted on. Avoid TikTok or Facebook pages that promise exact payment dates with no source. Trust multiple confirmations, not one viral clip. The real updates move slowly, but they're accurate. If a payment were ever approved, you'd see. Formal bills introduced. News coverage across multiple major outlets. Official statements from government agencies. Clear timelines and eligibility rules, not mystery screenshots, not blurry documents, not anonymous leaks. Mini summary: real money leaves a paper trail, fake money lives in rumors. And now, here comes the emotional turning point, because this isn't just about policy, it's about your future. Why this story hits home for so many families. Let's be honest for a moment, you're not watching this video because you love economic theory. You're here because your budget is tight, your stress is real, your family needs stability, groceries cost more, gas eats your paycheck, rent keeps rising, medical bills never stop. And when people hear the word stimulus, hope sparks, because it represents relief, breathing room, and maybe even peace of mind. That emotional pull is powerful, and that's why misinformation spreads so fast. When money is tight, even a small possibility of help feels like a lifeline, but false hope can hurt more than no hope at all. Mini summary: hope should be built on facts, not hype. And now, the big question remains: could something like this actually happen in the future? Could payments ever happen? Let's keep this grounded and honest. Could the government ever approve a new form of direct payment tied to trade revenue, tariffs, or foreign policy? Yes, it's possible. Is anything approved today? No. These ideas move through a long process: proposal, debate, budget analysis, political negotiation, voting, implementation. That process takes time, sometimes years. Translation: even if a payment idea gains momentum, you wouldn't wake up tomorrow with money in your account. But the fact that these conversations exist tells us something important. Leaders recognize Americans are financially stretched. Pressure is building for solutions, and economic relief remains part of the national conversation. Mini summary: possible someday, not promised today. Now let's bring this home. What should you actually do right now? What you should do right now. Smart money moves. Instead of waiting for rumors to become reality, here's what truly protects your family and your wallet. Build a small emergency buffer. Even $10 or $20 weekly helps. Avoid high-interest debt traps tied to future money expectations. Monitor legitimate financial news, not clickbait. Protect your personal data aggressively. Stay flexible with your budget. Financial strength comes from preparation, not promises. If real stimulus news breaks, you'll be ready to act quickly and safely. If it doesn't, your household still stays stable. Mini summary: hope for upside, but plan for reality. And now, let's close this with a message that truly matters. Your future isn't built on rumors, it's built on knowledge, preparation, and staying informed. Right now, there is no confirmed Venezuela stimulus check, but conversations about economic relief, trade revenue, and financial support continue to evolve. And when real changes happen, you deserve to hear it first, clearly and honestly. Your family depends on smart information, your wallet depends on good decisions, your future depends on staying connected. If you want real updates, not hype, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked into this channel. We break down financial news so you don't have to guess, panic, or get misled. Because when real money news drops, you'll be ready. Like the video if this helped you. Share it with someone who needs clarity. Subscribe for future updates that protect your financial future. Your next opportunity starts with staying informed.